They call it Yamal. In the local Nenets language, it literally means the end of the world, a place where the ground has been frozen for millennia. Until now, something is changing beneath the permafrost. In 2014, a helicopter pilot spotted it, a gaping wound in the earth that shouldn't exist. Local workers reported a flash of light, then a roar that shook the very foundations of the tundra. The sensors went off the charts. Methane levels 50,000 times higher than normal. Geologists descended into the abyss. What they found wasn't a sinkhole caused by erosion. It was an eruption. The earth didn't collapse, it exploded from the inside out. Official reports were vague, but the classified files speak of a pingo, a methane bomb waiting to go off. As the Arctic warms, the ancient permafrost is losing its grip. The seal is breaking. The Nenets people have lived here for centuries. They speak of spirits restless in the ground. Thermal scans reveal massive pockets of heat building up under the surface. Underground pressure cookers. They say if you stand near the edge, you can hear it. A low, rhythmic thumping, like a heartbeat. The ground begins to bulge. A lithalsa, a hill of ice and get. Once it reaches the limit, there is no stopping it. But nature isn't the only suspect. Some believe these holes are portals or exits. Could there be a civilization beneath the ice? Or has the military found something they can't control? What we are looking at is not a collapse. It is the aftermath of a massive internal pressure release. The walls are smooth, almost polished. This ice has been frozen for over 40,000 years. The researchers who first arrived were stunned. They found no traces of heat from a conventional explosion. Satellite data confirmed a pattern. The ground was heating up from within, weeks before the burst. Imagine the force. Tons of frozen earth being hurled hundreds of feet into the air in a split second. But there's a biological threat. Pathogens, dormant for ages, are being breathed back to life. Beneath the surface, methane gas is migrating, gathering into colossal bubbles, building pressure, waiting. This isn't new. Soviet records from the 70s mention similar voids. They were kept under wraps. Radiation spikes have been reported at several sites. Traces that don't match any known local source. In the craters that filled with water, sonar has detected anomalies. Large moving objects deep below. Locals avoid these holes at night. They tell stories of things that crawl out from the warmth of the deep. Chemical analysis reveals a compound not found in this region. A heavy metallic residue. The peninsula is becoming a minefield, and we are just starting to realize what's underneath. In some locations, sensors picked up a signal, low frequency, rhythmic, like a machine or a heart. If this continues, the end of the world won't just be a name. It will be a prophecy. Within months, many of these craters fill with water. We call them ghost lakes. Divers have tried to reach the bottom. Most return with stories of strange currents that shouldn't exist. Local seismographs are picking up tremors, but they don't look like earthquakes. They look like mechanical vibrations. The elders say the ground is breathing. They believe we have disturbed something that was never meant to be woken. New GPR scans have revealed something startling. Massive interconnected caverns stretching for miles. Inside these ice cores, we find air from a different epoch, high levels of CO2 and something else. Reaching these sites is a nightmare. Some appear in zones so remote no human has stepped there in a century. The soil here is different. It feels alive, saturated with organic matter that hasn't seen the sun in eons. Whenever we try to get high-resolution satellite imagery of certain holes, the signal fails. Electronic interference. Some of these holes don't seem to have a bottom. The light just disappears into them. If these aren't natural, then they are exits. For something that has been hiding under the ice for a very long time, the numbers are growing. What started as a single anomaly is now a systemic event across the entire Arctic. In the silence of the tundra, you realize we are not in control here. We are just witnesses. Every answer we find only leads to 10 more questions. The truth is being guarded by nature or by something else. Tonight, the Yamal Peninsula remains silent, but deep below, the pressure is building again. At the base of the newest holes, we found this. A thick obsidian silt that defies standard organic composition. Pilots are being told to divert. Strange electromagnetic fields are localized directly above the eruption sites. For the first time we caught it. A massive plume of gum, erupting with the force of a small nuclear strike. This wasn't cold, it was suffocation. A pocket of pure methane displaced the oxygen in seconds. Each layer of ice is a page in the Earth's history, and right now the book is being torn apart. Pingo is essentially a mountain of ice. But these aren't just ice, they are pressure vessels. Left cameras in the red zones, most don't survive. But the ones that do, the ground is quite literally breathing out its ancient breath, a breath that hasn't been tasted for 50,000 years. There is a 400-meter radius around Crater 17 where no satellite can maintain a lock, a technological black hole. Even the winter cannot contain it. The pressure from the deep is stronger than the permafrost seal. Imagine caverns the size of skyscrapers, filled with flammable gas, pressurized for thousands of years. Amidst the ice and mud, we found fragments. Too smooth to be rock, too hard to be local metal. The Nenettes say the sky and the earth are talking again. But the conversation is a warning. They are not static. Once born, the holes consume everything around them. The tundra is literally dissolving. We used to think we understood our planet, but Siberia is showing us that we are just scratching the surface. In the valley of Crater 17, the ground doesn't just sit there. It pulses, a slow, rhythmic expansion and contraction. Survey teams reported a loss of balance. Our instruments confirmed it. Localized gravity fluctuations. Physical laws are bending. These aren't just holes, they are excavations. The Earth is revealing things it has kept hidden for eons. The military has stepped in. Entire zones have been designated state secret overnight. What are they containing? Magnetic north is a suggestion here. The closer you get, the more the compass screams in confusion. At the bottom of Lake 08, we found this. Too straight to be a rock, too symmetrical to be natural. We used to call them sinkholes. Now some call them earth eyes. Energy vents for a planet under stress. Mammoths once walked this exact ground. Their remains are being vomited out by the earth itself. At 3 a.m. we saw it. Not fire, not gas. A cold blue light pulsing from a depth of 60 meters. We can't keep up. The rate of formation has tripled in the last 12 hours. It's a chain reaction. Every lake in the Yamal is a methane bomb. You are walking on a literal minefield. The local shamans are not surprised. They say the Great Mouth is hungry, and it has only just begun to feed. Infrared data is coming back with impossible readings. The core of the crater is getting hotter. Why? A storm is coming, a storm that will bury our research, and perhaps the truth along with it. We are halfway through the journey, but I fear the end of the world is just the beginning of something much bigger. When we lowered specialized microphones into the abyss, we didn't just hear the wind, we heard a cadence. Embedded in the 30,000-year-old ice was this, a strand of alloy that doesn't match any known Russian mining equipment. Pilots describe it as the Earth reaching out, a sudden, violent downward pull that defies aeronautical logic. We found seeds of flora that haven't existed since the Pleistocene, and in this new environment, they are waking up. Most of these events happen in total isolation. By the time we find them, the Earth has already settled. When you step back, the randomness disappears. They are appearing in a hexagonal pattern. This isn't just geology. Crater 12 led us into an underwater tunnel system. Our ROVs lost contact after just 50 meters. Methane is the fuel, but something is acting as the spark. Something we haven't identified yet. We are seeing heat signatures where there should be absolute zero. Thermal vents, or something alive. He tells me the ground is hungry, that the ancestors are no longer at rest because the gate has been opened. Crater 04 is unique. Even under direct sunlight, the interior remains pitch black. It absorbs everything. Around the rim of the 2025 eruption, we found tracks. Not reindeer, not wolf, something much larger. The earth is coughing up its dead, and they look as if they only closed their eyes yesterday. It's no longer just Siberia. The entire permafrost belt of the northern hemisphere is beginning to rupture. We are watching the planet change in real time. But the change isn't from above, it's from below. In the silence of Crater 21, the recorders picked up something impossible. Voices, not human, but speaking in a cadence we recognize. Our drills hit a ceiling. At 80 meters, the permafrost ends and something impenetrable begins. It's not rock, it's refined. 3 members of our team saw it. A flash of light from the bottom that didn't reflect. It glowed from within the earth. The heat isn't constant, it pulses. Every 4 seconds, a wave of thermal energy radiates from the core. Then the hum started, a sound so low you don't hear it with your ears. You feel it in your bones. It causes nausea and hallucinations. Time itself feels fractured. Mechanical watches stutter. Seconds stretch into minutes. It's as if gravity isn't the only thing being bent. We lost our deep-sea ROV today. Something at the bottom of the lake didn't just grab it. It pulled it down with thousands of pounds of force. 5 new holes, appearing simultaneously, forming a perfect pentagon. This isn't a natural release of gem, it's an arrangement. Deep within the ice, we found bioluminescence. Organisms that produce light, trapped for thousands of years, yet still active. The Nanets are moving their herds away. They say the great mouth is no longer just hungry, it is calling. This isn't just gas escaping, something is being transmitted. A pillar of energy moving from the deep mantle toward our atmosphere. The perimeter is never safe. The Earth is constantly reclaiming the surface. We lost our secondary camp in minutes. Then came the burst, a pulse so powerful it blinded every satellite over the northern hemisphere for 10 seconds. When the static cleared, we looked down again. Those weren't reflections. Those were signals. Someone is responding. We came here to study GEM. But we found a doorway and the doorway's opening. They aren't isolated incidents. Our latest sonar scans show a neural-like network connecting these voids. A system. Amidst the debris of Crater 32, we found this. It resembles a wing, but its cellular structure is silicon-based. While a blizzard rages above, the interior of the shafts remains perfectly still and warm, defying every law of meteorology. We intercepted military comms. They aren't talking about methane anymore. They are using terms like activation and reclamation, and every time we send a probe past the 50-meter mark, the electronics fry. Something down there doesn't want to be seen. This wasn't made by a nomad. The fingers are too long, the palm too narrow. Something climbed out of this hole. Nature doesn't make hexagons this perfect. These tunnels weren't formed by geese, they were engineered. The physical toll is unexpected. Our core temperatures are dropping, while our ocular nerves are heating up. We are changing. It's a broadcast. The eruptions aren't explosions. They are pulses in a global data stream. The planet is talking to someone. Don't let the beauty fool you. That golden mist contains trace minerals that shouldn't exist in our atmosphere. The radiation levels just hit a lethal threshold. There's something under the water that's leaking pure energy. It's not just a cave, it's a door. And the symbols on the hull, they predate human writing by 10,000 years. The nomads are gone. They left their homes, their sleds. They left everything as if they were running from a fire. It's happening. The grid is completing. We thought the Earth was breaking, but it's actually being rebuilt. Phase 8 is over. We have stopped being observers. We are now part of the process. The chemistry of our air is shifting. The plumes aren't just methane anymore. They are terraforming the sky. Beneath the network lies the heart. A structure so massive it shouldn't exist. It's the source of the pulses. The silt isn't waste, it's ferrofluid. It reacts to signals. It's sentient technology. Yamal has become a dead zone for technology. We are flying blind into the end of the world. They aren't afraid anymore. They are waiting, as if they recognize the sky from a time before memory. These aren't random shafts. They are entrances, designed for something to descend or ascend. The network is complete. A ring of thermal energy is encircling the pole. The planet's crown is on fire. The hum is inside us now. It's not a sound, it's a directive. We are losing the ability to think for ourselves. There it is, the heart. It's not a machine and it's not biological. It's something fundamental. The language is activating. A code that was buried in the permafrost, waiting for the temperature to hit the trigger. Communication is failing worldwide. The grid is creating an impenetrable field. We are alone. It's not just gas anymore. The Earth is bleeding liquid light, materials that shouldn't exist in our physics. They are burning the records. They want us to forget. But you can't burn what's happening to the sky. This is the end of the investigation. And the beginning of whatever comes next. The Earth is no longer ours. My name is Bian, and if you are hearing this, then you are the last of our kind. Silence. It's not the absence of sound, it's the presence of everything at once. The permafrost was never just soil, it was a shroud, a skin for a machine that covers the entire peninsula. The circuit is closed. The northern hemisphere is no longer just a geography, it's a processor. At the center of it all, the hub is opening its eye. It isn't looking at us, it's looking at the stars. Carbon life is being reorganized. We are not being destroyed. We are being recycled into the new system. Even from the depths of the ghost lakes, the signal is being sent. There is nowhere to hide. Siberia has become a beacon, a calling card for whoever placed this here millions of years ago. I was sent here to find an answer. I didn't realize I was part of the question. The signal is leaving our atmosphere. It's traveling at the speed of light toward a destination we can only imagine. The mission is complete. The ground is resetting. The evidence is erasing itself. The storm has ended, but the world we knew didn't survive it. If anyone finds this recording, do not look for us. We are no longer where you think we are. The end of the world was never a threat. It was a deadline, and we made it. Signing off forever.